Hey, I'm Janelle and this is toDIYfor. So today I am tackling this space. It did not look like this a couple of days ago. It looked a little more like this. So I know, it's really bad. This is my DIY closet where I keep all of my supplies. Because we're in an apartment, I've tried to kind of shove it into a closet so I can close it and not have to look at it. We don't have a lot of space. Well, the door has been open for the last 2 months because everything's been spewing out into this room, as you can see. I know, it's really bad. This room is actually supposed to be our spare bedroom and the room where my boyfriend does all of his gaming. For the last 2 months, you haven't been able to walk on the floor thanks to me. So I'm only going to be tackling the closet and the DIY storage today for the makeover. If you'd like to see me do a makeover of this room, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. Let me know down in the comments below and I can maybe do that in the future if you'd want to see that. But today we're just tackling the closet and I wanted to show you how much stuff there was that I had to go through. That's why I showed you the rest of the room. So I thought that this was going to be a weekend project, which is honestly why I think I've been putting it off for so long. But I actually tackled this in an afternoon. You see, this is after a full day of work. I work really early mornings, I get home in the afternoon, and I started this at like 3 o'clock and I maybe spent 4 hours on it. And that was about 90% of the work. So it's really amazing what you can do in just such a short period of time. And I'm telling you, it's so worth it because I cannot express how much joy this actually brought me. Marie Kondo, you get it, okay? Purging and reorganizing, and it just feels so good to do, and I also feel so inspired to do more DIY projects after getting this space organized and really seeing what I have to work with. So I really encourage you to do some organization of for yourself in your own spaces. It's really a mood booster 100%, and I'm gonna show you how I did this for really next to no money. Sometimes organizing can be a little bit expensive, but it cost me maybe 20 bucks to do this makeover, so let's get into it. Okay, so the way that I tackled this first was I moved out our futon couch so I had some space to organize items into piles, and I just started going through everything that had overflowed into the room, figuring out what I wanted to keep, what I wanted to donate, what I wanted to possibly try and sell, and what was just plain trash. So I would highly recommend doing this. As you can see, I've got things kind of started to separate into these different piles, and I also piled all my tools together and started pulling things out of the cupboard. So these are containers that I had previously kind of organized, but I wanted to just clean the space out completely. This is the way I like to organize the best, and just kind of start from scratch. So I cleaned it out and removed everything from the closet, and what I want to do is hang a pegboard. So here I'm kind of pointing to a little bit of some wood that is raised away from the wall about 1 inch. So that's actually perfect for me to hang and fasten my pegboard to, because pegboards need to be off of the wall so you can put all of the little things in. So normally you would use screws that have spacers in them, which was also in this pack that I picked up of 47 pieces. This is all I spent money on. So this was about $25 for the pegs and the pegboard. And really I just started organizing the tools that I use the most and hung them up for a way that works good for me. This shelf you might recognize from last week's video. It was previously in my bathroom. I decided to use it as storage space in here because I had it, instead of buying another one of these gray shelves. So I already had this gray shelf. It was really cheap. I think it's about $10 from IKEA, but I think it's great for storage solutions. I had planned on possibly buying a second, but I figured I'd use the white shelf because I already had it. So it's definitely a good idea to just clean all of your items while you are organizing. And that's basically what I started to do, and I started to go through these bins, which were previously organized at one point. This bin is basically all of my paints, my paint brushes, so I reorganized that and color-coded them. I moved on to this next bin, which is mostly filled with different types of glue. My glue gun is in there as well. I'm gonna tuck my little iron in at the bottom because I don't use it very regularly, and there was space. So this bin I filled with different types of sandpaper, wire, and also some other items I wasn't able to hang on my pegboard, like my X-Acto knife. I have a couple of these, which I absolutely love for storing all of my little tiny craft items. So I have had these for a while, and this stuff was already previously organized. It looks a little messy. This one's a little better. It contains a lot of my jewelry making supplies, and I have different ropes and buttons. I have different pieces of fabric, trim, elastic, Velcro, tape, and I love this container because it's easy to keep things organized, but it's clear so you can see exactly what's inside. So that's great for organization. As you can see, I've started to put some of the items on the shelf, and the way I organize that is make things accessible that you use regularly. These are things I do not use regularly. So this is a bin that I already had, and it did house most of these items, which is like gift bags, tissue paper, random ribbon. I've got streamers in here. So it's kind of like my party box. And I'm gonna store that up top because I don't use it very regularly. I did have another container. It's slightly smaller, which I put some fall decor in, and in there back in the corner is actually my Halloween costume basket. Again, I love to use these clear containers. I got this one from the dollar store to put my screws and nails and different things in. And then this clear container, I put all of my other camera gear in, so my GoPro. In the corner is where I tucked away some of my wood storage and scrap pieces that I still have. This is just to note, these are a few things that I still do need to find homes for, some decor items. I need to figure out how to dispose of that mirror, and this is my donation pile. But as you can see, the room is a lot clearer, and this closet is looking good. So that is how I organized my space, and again, keep in mind, I was really trying to just use what I had. Yes, I could have gone out and gotten better matching boxes and just made it look a lot prettier, but at the end of the day, this is functional, it works for me, and it didn't cost me a lot of money. If you have any other organizational tips to leave, please feel free to leave that down in the comments below for myself and for other people to just use. And please, if you're not already following me on Instagram and on Twitter, do so. You can follow me on both at Janelle Steeper. There you can connect with me. You can share photos of DIYs or organization that you're doing at home. And also you can follow along and get sneak hints about what I am doing in the upcoming weeks, which by the way, in the upcoming weeks, I plan to do a couple of more makeover spaces. As I'm going through my apartment, I'm really kind of doing this everywhere. So I have 2 other rooms or spaces that I plan to do makeovers for, which will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe. I will be back next Wednesday with a new video. Cheers.